What's up, everybody? It's Chad. I'm back again with another installment of the Ask Chad Grassy Logic series. I'm here today with my homie Cruz from Stonehead. He joined me today, and he drove down, and we hung out, had some tacos, and now we're here to talk to you guys a little bit about him. So thanks for joining me, Cruz.
Hey, what's up, man? I appreciate you having me. My name is Cruz. I'm with Stonehead, and I kind of, just do reviews online on Instagram pretty much, and just trying to find some great product here in New Mexico.
Nice. So what really made you want to start doing reviews?
So, I mean, I didn't really see anything out there, and I got something from a recreational market. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Went in to the dispensary, picked it up, looked at it, and I was like, "Dang, this is actually good." You know what I mean? Something I didn't expect to come out, and I was just like, "Man, I wish I could share it with people," because I didn't really smoke with anyone. Kind of smoked to myself, and I was just like, I always wanted to do reviews, so why not start here? And posted the first one, which was with Sawmill.
Nice. Yeah, because I've been watching through the Instagram times, and it's really nice to see that, because you don't really get that product review or even people telling you what this product is. You go to the website, and the most you see is like a picture. Sometimes it's a stock picture.
Yeah.
You don't really get like the live view of what this product actually looks like.
Yeah.
So it's really great to see. I mean, it's something that's changing in the industry, starting with people like you. So that's really great to see. And reviews are needed, in my opinion, just because the fact that without them, we're kind of just left to guess. And it's cool to try things, but not everybody has the wallet to try things.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And that's my biggest thing is like people constantly hit me up. They're like, "Hey, you really helped me find some products, some really, really good products," which is dope, because I know not everyone has that, extra $20 or $15 to buy this, and then it ends up being trash and they're just hating it the whole time. And the whole thing about doing this is to enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To really find some good flavors out there.
100%. And that's the thing that I love is flavors. I'm a terpene guy.
Yeah, terps all day.
Terp whore. I'm a total terp whore. I love the terpenes, the flavors, all that. We were taking dabs a little earlier. We had some really terpene, some rosin, and that was really refreshing. Because you get sometimes you're like, it's all right. It'll get me stoned.
Yeah, exactly. And I deal with that a lot. But the ones that do stand out, obviously, we have the rating system to really grade them and figure it out. Because I mean, if you're in the 30s, you're doing really well. You're doing good. Once you're into the 40s, it's like, okay, yeah, now we got to pay attention to these guys because we know that they're doing stuff really good.
Well, could you explain to the audience maybe how the rating system works and how you figure that out?
So basically, with the rating system, I put into the least subjective categories, and I really put a lot of thought into it. So like I have the smell. A lot of people like kind of like the same smell. Not everybody likes the funkiness, but for those that do, what you're kind of looking for. As far as taste, obviously a nice clean taste coming in. Does it match with the flavor, the smell profile and things like that, which is nice. And then we have the consistency, which speaks for itself. Everyone kind of can say, I prefer like a jam to a cold cure, things like that. But whenever you see the right stuff, everyone knows, If you know,
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah,
Exactly. And then smoothness, obviously, whenever you inhale it, how smooth it is. And price is huge. Like I said, not everyone can spend that extra $20. So I like to put that into consideration. Effects, not so much, just because, I mean, I smoke a lot. It takes a lot to kind of get me really high. So I didn't think that was fair.
Yeah, and to be honest, effects is kind of different between person to person.
Yeah, exactly.
How it affects you,
the receptors and everything. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that's great that you kind of omit that from the rating system, just for the fact that what affects me is going to affect Gino totally different.
Exactly.
Like he'll probably go to sleep.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's great. And it's cool that you did that. I like we were talking at lunch. I used to do reviews like maybe 7-8 years ago, maybe even 6 years ago. And here on the medical side, it was needed because we had crappy weed. And so I was smoking crappy weed all of the fucking time. And it sucks. So I totally get it. And I'm glad that, there's other people taking that and, going with it. Because, I haven't done, reviews like that in a long time, so it's great to see more people getting in, showing what products out there.
Exactly.
Because that's the one thing that really needs to be about reviews. It shouldn't just be about, oh, I'm reviewing this because, someone told me to. It should be like, well, I've never seen this before, or, this looks interesting, let's review it, let's check it out. And that's something that really intrigues me about it. So I'm really glad that you have that approach.
Oh yeah, I chase everything, man. I don't care who makes it, what the packaging looks like. Obviously, I love a nice package. I have boxes in my closet because the packaging is so nice. But at the end of the day, I don't care what it looks like in the packaging as long as it's good. So if I jump into like this mom and pop shop and their packaging is kind of just like right there, but it's fire no matter what, you know.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where it comes from as long as it's really good.
Yeah.
You know?
So you kind of feel the customer experience. You know,
Yeah,
is
exactly.
the
I
important
step
part,
into
too.
every store. Yep.
Yeah.
I step into every store, get to meet people. I like talking to everyone, get to know them, and the bud tenders too,
Heck yeah.
owners, everyone.
Yeah.
It's just a good time.
Yeah, no, definitely. You know, like, and you know, that was what I liked about doing reviews is you got to go and talk to the bud tenders, talk to the owners.
Yeah.
You know, you get to really get to know them. You know, they get to know you.
Some
And
people have some incredible stories that need to be shared, you know?
yeah, and you know, we all had another lifetime sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, like I was in the army at one point.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I have a degree in IT. You know, so you know, we all sometimes have different things that not a lot of people know.
Yeah.
You know, so that's great to see that you're able to tune into that and you see more of the personal side of the cannabis industry.
Yeah, especially the people that have a lot of passion. And whenever I get to talking to them, like with the reviews, I like to ask them certain questions and they kind of give me feedback, or like they pheno hunted this or where they started from. And like really, that's what I kind of want to educate people on, like this brand, but this is who they are, and give it all in a minute 30, which is really difficult, but we make it happen.
You have to. You have no choice.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah, that's really impressive too. That you take all that content and you condense it down, into a minute 30. And that's kind of what Hollywood does,
Yeah,
especially with commercials. I don't know if a lot of people know this or not, but I did an Ancestry DNA commercial back in 2016, and it took almost all afternoon to record this commercial. And then they did different scenes, and actually we did one in the morning and then one in the afternoon, and it was 30 seconds long.
Yeah, so
it's 30 seconds.
I feel that.
Yeah,
I feel that a lot.
Yeah. So you're like, oh wow, they took out a lot. That sucks.
Yeah.
But what you get in the end is what you get, and it comes out good.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you've taken that role, and your content comes out really good, and you have the experience to do it too.
Yeah,
thank
you. Yeah. We know what we're looking for out here.
Yeah, exactly. And you brought your camera with us. Do you want to show it off? Show the people what you use.
Yeah, this is pretty much everything I use to record the videos with, and kind of shoot stuff outside of the Instagram too. Like this is going to be on the YouTube stuff that we're doing, that we're going to start like branching off into, just give you guys long form content to really bring in the backgrounds of the. I wasn't supposed to talk about that. Yeah. It's my next step though. That's ultimately what I really want to do, is dig into like a documentary style and get to these mom and pop shops, or just anyone that, I don't even care if it's like a mom and pop shop. If you have a really great story, I wanna talk to you about it and share it with the world, and let people know your story.
Yeah. Heck yeah, that's great. That you're kind of branching out to further, not just reviews, but really getting into the personal stories and figuring out these people. Because this is New Mexico. We're very cliquey. We're very community based. And we're very close knit like that. And that's what I always liked. And one thing I noticed about your logo really and everything is it really touches back to the native roots.
Yeah.
That we have, and I really dig that about Stonehead in general. So where did the name come from?
So me and my brother, when was this? Back in October of last year, we were smoking together. We were watching the Bob's Burgers movie, and he said something really dumb. And you know how you just call someone a pothead or a stoner?
Yeah.
And I meant to call him like a pothead, but stonehead came out.
Oh.
And I just kind of like froze in that second. I looked at him. I was like, I like that. I'm going to do something with that. And I honestly didn't even know what I was going to do with that, and that's where the name really came from. And, you look back into the ancient histories, you see all these stone heads from our ancestors, and, all these different roots. And, I just found into the Mayan ones and fell in love with this one, got with my buddy, and we really developed into, what Stonehead is today.
Nice. Yeah, that's great. Because the design is beautiful.
Yeah.
Even the dab mats you had at the
mood maps. Yep.
Yeah.
He killed it. Worked with an artist, Dark Cult Media. Dark Mountain Cult. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Sorry, I talked to a lot of people. Yeah, no, he did a great job. Exactly the same thing. Give the artist the freedom that they want, but kind of give them your projection. Everyone has their style. This is kind of what I'm looking for. Whatever you want to do with it, run with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every time.
That's dope. Yeah. And, you give them the freedom to create, and, he just knocks it out the park.
Exactly. You got to trust your artist,
Yeah. So. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. If you don't trust your artist, then what are you hiring them for?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? You're not the artist.
Yeah.
So that's great. Yeah. And, another thing I really want to bring up is, you had some dab tools with you. One was a Macovito. It was cool to see. And I think you had a bow and arrow one too.
Yeah, bow and arrow. We had, the spear. Yeah. So with those, they came from Schwebo. He handmade those. I contacted him, found him through Instagram, and I asked him kind of like the images, what I'm looking for, and kind of what they represent for us. And from there, he did what he did and created these amazing tools that I'm very proud of, and I know he's very proud of. To really share our culture and bring it out, and people really enjoy it, which is amazing. You know what I mean? It kind of it's a good thing.
No, yeah, because I saw it at the Hash and Hetties, and I saw you had one, and I was like, and that's actually initially when I started talking to you. I was like, hey, I want one of those.
That's right. Yeah.
Then I saw it at the Hash and Hetties, and I was like, oh, I'll buy one right now. Yeah, so I have one myself. I love it. I think Rob got the, yeah, of course. I love supporting local artists and stuff like that, especially when it's something cool. It has to do with our ancestry and stuff like that. Our backgrounds, and that's not really talked about a lot. They always talk about the Spaniards. Like the Spaniard hat is always what you see, but seeing something like that's really cool. I think Rob got the bow and arrow.
Yeah, he got the bow and arrow.
So that was cool to see. I was like, that's dope. So I wanted that one, but yeah. So what was his name again for the people that maybe want to pick one up?
Schwebo. Well, I carry him. He's the artist. I love making sure I give all the artists all the credit that they deserve. Schwebo, I tag him on all my posts. If you guys go see on Instagram, it'll always say tools on the bottom, and it'll have his tag. Make sure you guys follow all the artists that I work with, and they'll probably work with you too if you guys like everything. So
nice. And who knows, might give the guy an idea, come out with something even cooler.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that's dope. So what is your favorite like cultivar, or do you like dabbing over smoking flower? What is it?
So I typically smoke a lot of hash. Favorite cultivator, 100% has to be Yindo for me.
Okay.
Yindo is just.
And where are they out of?
They are out of Albuquerque.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
All organic, till soil. Everything that they do is just proper, and that's why I love them. From I haven't tried their flour, but I know their flour is amazing just because of how their rosin is. So them. I mostly dab, but I love flour as well. Like yesterday, I rolled up an 1/8 and just smoked it to myself, and I wanted another one. So guess what?
We rolled another one.
Guess what I did? It just kind of balances itself out sometimes. Like I used to be huge into like my bong rips, and now I'm back into papers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it doesn't help that I was surrounded by the joint sicarios. You know what I mean? And then seeing all their rolls right there. So I'm like, I'll roll. But,
yeah, I mean, they give me shit sometimes. I roll, but I don't roll huge joints.
Oh,
so
no, see.
We'll be hanging out, and Dabro will come up. Who rolled this pinner? No shame in my game, but yeah, they have like these ridiculous ones. You got the hash holes.
Yeah, the hash holes.
Hash holes.
That's one of my favorite ways to consume. Probably. Yeah, no. Yeah, you get a cross of everything.
Yeah.
And then once you hit the worm.
Yeah.
And it changes flavors. Yeah. That's fire.
Then you're like, whoa, don't worry, we'll be probably smoking hash holes today. So did you ever work for any dispensaries, or like what would you do before this? What's your background in cannabis world, I guess?
So background in cannabis, man. So I've always had a giant passion and drive for the whole cannabis thing. I wrote like research papers in high school about hemp and what it could do for the community, legalization on it, and the tax benefits. And teachers were probably sick of me. They're probably like, this freaking pothead, And I did smoke a lot of weed, but my results and everything, not results, but like my grades came back with A's and everything. They liked what they read. And once I graduated, started with college and just kind of bounced around. Always, smoking weed pretty much.
Like we do.
Yeah. And then I found a career, stopped smoking weed for like a year, and then came back to it, and then just smoked by myself, didn't chill with anyone really, kept it down low, and worked at the career for 5 years and getting paid well. Didn't think I was ever going to leave. I had insurance,
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, everything went wreck. People are pissed. People are happy. I'm over there like getting rallied up. My heart's, boom, boom, boom.
With my hands.
Yeah. And then a company reached out to me, and they wanted me to be their salesman. And that's whenever I said, you know what, I'm jumping ship. And I just quit my job, started working with them, and it was miserable. It was not a good time. Left them. And then I found another company, which I'm at right now. I'm their salesman. So I like to keep everything kind of separate, but I am in the cannabis industry, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool to to kind of have the passion that you do with this, and also work in the cannabis industry too.
Yeah,
so that's always great.
There's love in everything that I do. Everything has a small little bit of detail. Everything from the reviews, I want to make sure I give the proper respects, whether it's good or not, because people worked at it. People did put their time and effort into it, whether they did a good job or bad. obviously the numbers and everything that I say is going to speak for itself. But
Yeah.
I do just want to say it in a respectful way too.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Cool. Yeah, and thank you for sharing that with us. Because I'm sure a lot of people, when did they get the face reveal? When did the face reveal happen?
That was that was a high times event. So I didn't plan on like even ever really doing a face reveal until like I started doing the whole documentary type style stuff. So this was the plan in the future if it ever like took off the way that it has been, which is really cool because I'm actually moving towards the goals.
Yeah.
But what the heck, bro? I'm stoned.
Face reveal. We took some dabs. Don't worry.
But yeah.
Safety meetings.
Yeah. So I was just like, so what am I gonna do? They want me to like judge, which is really cool. They told me they're like, you don't have to show your face. And I was like, no, this is something pretty big. I'm just gonna do it. Just gonna run with it and see what happens. Like I said, just life gives you lemons. You make lemonade, and it was the time to do it. So we did it, and here I am showing my face every now and then. Now we're on YouTube doing long form content to really kind of learn on how to edit long form content because it's very different from short form. Yeah. And I'm so used to short form now. So I'm like, okay, I'm testing the waters now. I'm testing the waters. That's why I have this sucker with me now. And as soon as I feel comfortable, that's whenever we're gonna start just shooting.
Yeah, definitely. And that's the best way to get good at it.
Exactly.
Get good. You just do it.
Yeah. Not be afraid. I know some people are just afraid to do it. Just honestly do it. Chase what you guys want.
Yeah, chase your dreams. Even
exactly.
If it's hard, well,
it's always going to be hard.
Yeah, it's never going to be easy.
Yeah.
When it's hard in the end, though, it's easy in the end. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like all the other challenges that come after that are a lot easier.
Oh, it's crazy because I didn't think I was even gonna have like I think I just hit 1,000, which isn't a lot to some people, but it's a lot to me because
I just hit 2,000. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, exactly. But whenever I posted my first picture on there, I immediately got the will not recommend to anyone,
Oh,
which,
yeah.
From the very first post, whenever I had like 6 followers to build up to 1,000 without any recommendation, it's kind of just like word of mouth credibility. You know what I mean? Which is really cool.
Share the link.
Yeah, and everyone that's sharing, thank you guys. It's amazing. I never thought that it would actually take off like this. I just wanted to share a little bit of information, and we're still sharing information.
Yeah. We're here collaborating, sharing information.
Yeah,
that's one reason why I wanted you here is because you're another person who's wanting to educate people, wanting to show them what's out there. So there's no point for me to not collaborate with someone like that. And that's great. We're both, cannabis content creators. And so it's great to really collaborate sometimes. So, well, what do you have planned for the future?
Well, like I said, the documentary style, that's ultimately one of like the big goals, but it's just such a big project. And it's probably going to be me, TJ, and Hunter. It's just going to be 3 of us to really kind of tackle it. They're going to help me with the camera, but I'm going to do all the editing and make sure that I figure out how to do it properly.
Yeah.
But
nice.
That's a lot of passion, man. I want to make sure it's done with the right respects, you know?
No, definitely. Like you always want to put out a good content, even if it takes a little while.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Quentin Tarantino, it takes him like 10 years to do one movie.
It's not going to take those 10 years.
No, but I'm just saying. It's good content.
Yeah, it's good content. Yeah, no.
So but great. Yeah, thank you for sharing that with us. And before we move on to the next topic, do you want to share with everybody how to find you?
If you guys want to give me a follow, I'm on Instagram at StoneheadNM of Shadow Band. So you got to make sure you put it all in, or else I won't come out. But yeah, a follow is cool, and if not, that's cool too. I appreciate you guys.
Cool. Yeah, heck yeah. Well, I appreciate you being on the show, and I guess we'll just continue the conversation with the other topics we got. But yeah,
okay.
Heck yeah. So anyway, I guess Jim Belushi is going to be bringing his brand to New Mexico. I posted this today on I have a group has like 3,000 people on it that we've been running for a while. And, I kind of use that to kind of gauge, where people are thinking, where they're at.
Yeah.
And, it's mixed reviews. So I kind of figured,
yeah.
Like you got an actor that's coming in from, another state, and he's bringing his brand in here. It's like anything else. We have the Cheech and Chong brand here.
Yeah.
I think we have Snoop Dogg brand here. We have Cookies that's showing up here very soon as well. And there's many more, but this is just another one to add to it. So some people kind of felt like, oh, no more out of state people. What the hell? This and that. But it's a part of the industry.
It's part of the industry. I agree. I mean, if people feel like they can make fire, like they always say, those ones will always stand out.
Mm-hmm.
So people that come in with all this money and they start working with cultivators, if they're making really good flower with them, and that's really good flower, But if you feel like you don't want to grow better flower and make sure that you're on top. You know,
Yeah.
you got to step up your game and make sure that you guys are ready for some people to put in millions of dollars. But whenever the mom and pop shops can rally together and make sure that they have the best weed, no one's going to go to those places really, because they're educated. You know?
Exactly. And the way that he's doing it, he's not necessarily, you know, bringing a farm here. He's working with Seven Clover in Albuquerque.
Okay,
they're going to be the producers of the
I know
cultivars.
Seven Clover.
And up in Albuquerque. I remember them on the medical side, you know, on the dirty 30 is what we used to call them, you know, because there's only 30 something of them. And yeah, right. You never heard that one, huh?
No.
That's funny. Yeah, it's an old term for the medical cannabis days. That kind of stuck around and lingered. But yeah, so the way he's going to do it is he's going to pretty much just give them his cultivars. And the way that you do it in New Mexico, it's a little bit tricky. And it's like that in every state, because, you know, every state you have to produce your own cannabis. It has to be from the state. So what they're doing is they're getting clones, you know, or seeds, whichever one they go for. I'm not too sure. You know, I'm pretty sure it's clones. And they're gonna bring them here, and then they're gonna grow them out here, and then it's gonna be flowered here and everything, and it will be New Mexico grown, but it will be his Jim Belushi genetics. And
so it's his genetics.
Yeah, his genetics.
How many genetics do we bring from out of state?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we
so
bring out of state genetics,
but they're cultivated by Seven Clover. Okay.
Yeah. And so, you know, I think a few people had a misconception. It is it is hidden behind a paywall. For some reason, when I first read the article, I was able to read it, and then after that, I wasn't able to. So luckily, I had it open still on my phone, so I was able to go through the article. I don't know if anybody else got to read it, but yeah, guys, it's not going to be Jim Belushi standing out there selling you. You know, I guess he's coming for the grand opening of it, but that's it.
Just show his face.
Yeah, it's not going to be like a Jim Belushi.
Just a little bit of hype. That's just all it.
Yeah,
a little bit. Of hype,
yeah, because he's doing this in Florida too. He's doing this in other states, so we're not the only state. You know, he's doing the exact same thing in Florida. I think at the same time. Because I ran into another article.
This man's going on tour for weed?
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's kind of genius. You know?
That's some people's dreams, though.
No,
that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to go on tour for weed.
I mean, he's an actor. I don't know how long he's been like the whole cannabis thing, but for people that, you know, that's some people's dreams. That's cool, though.
No, it is, you know, and so this is just another chance for us to kind of, you know, experiment in the waters and see, you know, what else is out there. And who knows? Maybe he has really good genetics, and who knows? Maybe Seven Clover will knock it out and produce something good.
We never know. We never know until it's here. And if it's trash, it's trash. If it's good, it's good. If it's all right, it's all right. There's nothing wrong with that. There's a market really for anybody. You know? But if you guys really want to, you know, put out really, really good flower, you will always find a way.
No,
the name will always be out there.
Oh, definitely. You know, and it's you can make a name for yourself. I mean, most good growers, you know, or good, you know, cultivators, you know, they got their names just from doing it. Like Subcool. You know, he was a great cultivator back in the day, you know, TGA genetics, you know, then you have Miss Jill, you know, his ex-wife, you know, she's a female cultivator, you know, she had really great genetics. She came out with the, what is it? The Jilly Bean, I think it is. Yeah. The Jilly Bean is hers. And so that's her line and everything. And she used to be at TGA as well. And so, you know, these people, they're not celebrities in this sense, but yet they have a name in the industry because of what they've done. Yeah. And so who knows, you know, maybe he can be, you know, a double threat, but we'll see. Yeah. You know, I know it's from Oregon. Oregon's very saturated. I've never tried the cannabis from Oregon, just Washington. Yeah. So I can't really speak.
You know what I hear? I've never had it, but I hear a lot of people say that the best weed that they've had is from Oregon.
Really?
But it's probably growing conditions. I think they do a lot of outdoor out there because they can, you know? Yeah. But I honestly don't know. I don't quote me, but everyone that I usually hear that's had Oregon weed always says that that's where it's at.
Yeah. I mean, it is fire. I mean, from what I heard too.
But who knows? We won't know till it's here, but it's coming regardless. You know? We got to adapt. We got to overcome, and, you know,
just grow better. Yeah. You know, like people like this, if they come in, they won't mean anything if, you know, we have solid cannabis in the state. And to be honest, we're on the ups.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's been getting a lot better. There was a time where I wouldn't even touch anything. You know what I mean? Yeah. And now I'm happy to say, you know what, we got weed, we got good weed, we got really good weed, and they're starting to show up with great weed. So I'm very, very, very happy about that.
Yeah, because you know, you're a judge at the Hash and Headies, so you're able to, you know, kind of get in there and see the wide range. Oh
yeah, there's a lot of good companies out here, man, and a lot of people should be proud. You know? And the people that didn't place in the top 10, or if they felt like they should have been top 5 or the first, you know, really sit down and see what you guys are doing, and then take it up the next time, and, you know, go back at it. Or if you guys think you guys are doing the proper thing and everyone's an idiot, then follow your rules. You know, it's really your life to live, but there's literally 50 judges telling you a point
Yeah.
system.
Yeah, it's not like, a handful of 5 or 10. It's 50 judges.
Yeah.
That's a wide pool of people to
Yeah,
really give
exactly.
their opinions, and it was all blind.
It was
right?
all blind. Yeah. That's what I
Yeah.
really, really liked about it. There's two totally different events: the High Times, the Hash and Headies event.
Mhm.
It's just like boxing. They have different sanctioning belts. You have the WBC, WBO, IBF, ringside. You have all these different things. But the more that we have to compete for, it's kind of good because it puts people on their A game. A lot of people are competitive.
Yeah.
We have the best stuff. We have the best stuff. How do we lose? Well, we got to figure this out. You know what I mean? It turns into a whole different thing. At least in my head, it does. You know what I mean? Because I've seen it, where people get really motivated with things like that. And that's kind of what I really want to happen, is people to get motivated and, just represent New Mexico with fire hash, fire flower, fire weed,
Yeah. Oh, definitely. And a lot of people in other states really do hold our hash in higher regard than I thought initially.
I don't leave the state.
Really? Yeah, right. Yeah. I don't go to Colorado that much for it.
I went once last month, but that's a rarity. I barely leave the state.
No, yeah, definitely.
So I don't know what they're saying out there. I just want to be like proud of all the stuff that we have out here.
Yeah, me too. And I am able to say that I'm more proud these days than I was back in the medical cannabis days, because back then it was bad.
No, I wouldn't get any flower from any locals or anything.
Yeah. I've been growing my own for like the past 10 years,
and that's always the best way to do it.
Yeah, that's
the best way to do it.
Yeah, grow your own. You knows what goes into it, and if you messed it up, it's on you.
Yeah,
that's the whole thing about it. So that's pretty much all I had for the Jim Belushi story. Pretty much, it's just his brand's pretty much coming to New Mexico, guys. It's not like a dispensary that he's gonna be selling all of his stuff. They did say that they're going to be expanding the line more to edibles, like gummies and stuff like that too. So, expect more Jim Belushi line stuff, in the form of other, stuff like topicals, things of that range. So we're going to see this more, this isn't going to stop.
Yeah. All celebrities are going to want to do collabs and then drop it extra money in their pocket. What I mean?
Definitely.
And everyone sees weed and they say, oh, money, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's a different kind of green.
Yeah, it is definitely. So, but that's it for the Jim Belushi story. We're going to move on. Now, this one is actually something that popped up in the news the past day or so. And I really wanted to talk about it because to me, it was a little weird the way the article was structured, because they asked an out-of-state advocacy group about what happened. And they don't know that New Mexico is different than any other state. And they don't really know how cannabis became legal in New Mexico. Because when I read the article, I was like, well, this guy's dumb. So I was like, he doesn't realize what happened. So I wanted to touch on this. What it is the article is talking about federal background checks. Mm-hmm. So when we passed the Cannabis Regulation Act, or the CRA, in 2021, they had a provision in there where you had to have a state and a federal background check. But I guess someone messed up and it wasn't caught. Like happens in every bill pretty much.
Yeah.
There's something that just isn't perfect. And come to find out, the federal government can't do the background checks because they didn't follow something in the law or whatever. So they wrote it wrong. So they're gonna have to go back and amend it, but they haven't. In the meantime, there's no requirement essentially for a federal background check for the industry. So you can get a state background check, but they can't check for federal stuff for nationally.
Oh,
so there's certain people slipping into the industry that probably shouldn't be. There's bad people. Mm-hmm. Well, in this case, in particular, and they're making it seem like it's a problem everywhere in the whole state. It's a cartel entity got into the legal side of the cannabis, and so that is worrying. But at the same time, you have to remember that cartels have legal businesses in every industry, essentially.
Yeah.
All over the nation.
Yeah.
So
that's what I was gonna say. I'm like, they're kind of everywhere.
Yeah. Like they're kind of all over the place. So that's one thing that you have to keep in mind. So it's not just the cannabis industry, and that's one reason why I brought that up. I wanted to ensure I said that is it's not just the cannabis industry where it gets infiltrated. All of them get infiltrated. You have the Italian mafia, and in Hawaii you have the Japanese yakuza, you have the Korean mafia over there. So it's all over the place. Organized crime isn't going to stop. And in this situation, it seemed like the guy partnered with somebody that he probably shouldn't have, or he didn't know.
Yeah,
because it said that, oh, my partner turned out to be a cartel guy. He's been threatening my life, and that just, to me, it seems like someone just made the wrong decision in the partner that they made, and now it's kind of biting them in the butt.
Yeah, it's making the whole community look bad because the article doesn't make sense either, too. So people read that and they're like, oh shit, they definitely suck.
Yeah. It's like, oh man, New Mexico's messing up.
Yeah.
Look at all the cartels, and it's just one instance that we know of.
Yeah.
So it's a little weird. I really wanted to address it because the real reason is the advocacy group stated that the reason why this happened is because we rushed passing the bill during the special session to pass the bill. That's not necessarily true because the bill was being worked on the entire session. And it was an odd year, so it was a 60-day session.
Mhm.
So for 60 days, that bill is going through the whole processes and everything, and it wasn't introduced and passed on the special session. It was fixed the whole time. What happened is it got filibustered by the Republicans.
Okay.
I was watching the whole thing. It's like my football season. So I was watching the whole thing, and they just filibustered it to the last minute, to the midnight where they couldn't do it anymore. And so when you filibuster something, you're pretty much just taking up time. For the people that don't know, you're pretty much just taking up time. You're pretty much just taking the knee, and you're waiting for time to expire, so that way that particular bill or whatever, whatever you're trying to get not passed isn't going to pass. And they did successfully. However, the governor was pissed, and she decided to call a special session, which she can do. And so she did, and that's when they passed that bill in particular. Yes, there was a couple of amendments and stuff that happened along that route, but it wasn't passed just in a special session. And that's why I was like, okay, I don't really like this article, because the fact that they went out of state and asked somebody that isn't even from here, probably didn't even know that fact in the first place, and now he's putting this judgment on our program. And I'm here to be like, sorry, they're probably wrong, because that just doesn't make any sense. Like, don't get me wrong, the bill isn't perfect. No bill is.
Yeah.
And our law isn't perfect, but at the same time, like, something like this is easy to miss.
Well, we have it way better than a lot of other states still,
Exactly.
so.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can home grow. Our possession limits aren't crazy. We still have a medical cannabis program that isn't taxed.
Yeah.
Like there's so much in our program that there's positives that the negatives can't outweigh it, or they just really don't outweigh the positives. Like they're there. Don't get me wrong, but they just don't outweigh it. That's why people keep moving here. That's why Jim Belushi's coming here. So I really wanted to touch base on this. I had more talking points, but that's pretty much the gist of it. Like of this article and everything. I mean, what do you think about that?
So I mean, just make sure you double check your work. You know what I mean, and don't be asking people from out of state.
Yeah,
I mean, like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I to be completely honest, I don't know too much about the whole political side.
Yeah.
But the whole thing about just, you get your references wrong, or you make one mistake, and then it kind of just makes other people look better. You look like an idiot too.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So which
in this
for
case,
both sides,
yeah. In this case, yeah, definitely. So yeah, if you guys are going to get into the industry, please be careful of the people you're going to be with.
Definitely be careful. I'll tell you right now, I jumped head first.
Didn't we all? Didn't we all? And it bit some of us in the ass really good. So yeah, just be careful. This individual, unfortunate for him, whether he knew or not, he's in a bad situation because the state pulled their licenses, and they're probably all getting charges because they got caught. And so they found out that the person that he was partnered with, they did have a federal charge or whatever, under pending. And so that's how they found out. The only thing that I don't really agree with it 100% is you only know about the bad people that get caught. So the ones that are still out there that don't have a federal background or a state background in anything that they've done wrong, they're not going to know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, those people are probably in the industry right now doing bad stuff, but they've never been caught. So, who's to say that, we don't have that same similar issue, but just the person's cleaner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we have to keep that in mind too. The unknown variables will always kick you in the ass, Those always be the ones you're like, yeah. Those are always the ones that kick you in the ass and make you go, huh, should have thought of that. Yeah, indeed. So that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about, guys. And this pretty much happens in every state. I don't think there's, not one state that, has dealt with
perfect program. No one has a perfect program at all.
Yeah.
We have it a lot better than others because, I mean, I'm not big into the politics like down dirty, but I like to kind of give it an overview from a lot of different states,
Yeah.
We have it. I think we have it relatively good.
Yeah, I do too. And, I'm always speaking on that too. I kind of analyze other states, and that's kind of where I get my analysis for New Mexico as a whole, as I look at the other states, what's going on. And of course, don't get me wrong, New Mexico's different. So I have some things I omit, some things that, there's those unknown variables and things like that too. Because even sometimes I surprise myself. I'm like, "Ooh, didn't think of that." Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have for that in one in particular, guys. And that's pretty much for the show, except I got bonus information and events. Do you have any events or anything to share?
I'm definitely going to be at Galileo's grand opening.
Ooh.
I'm very stoked about that. If you guys are in the area, definitely come check it out. I might have a booth if I have enough stuff left over because I'm selling everything, which is cool. I appreciate everyone buying everything a lot, but I didn't think I was going to have to restock, but we'll see. But yeah, that's all I have going as of now.
Nice. Yeah, no, I think I might go to that too. I talked about it last week in events. So if you guys want to know the information for that, it's on the Facebook, or you can go to last week's episode towards the end and see what's up. The only one I got to really share, it's at the end of this month, and I'll say it again because it's happening pretty much this weekend, is the Joint Staccatos Southern Smoke Summerfest up in Albuquerque. Yeah, it looks like a good time. It's going to be at the Rio Rancho Event Center. It's going to be the 29th and the 30th of this month in June. I mean, it's July, excuse me.
Like
we'll start with J's. We'll start with J's. Yeah, July of, so this month.
Yeah, okay.
So this weekend. So yeah, you're going to go to that?
Unfortunately not. I am going to be at a wedding.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
In Albuquerque.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But no. The important, the wedding means a lot. So I cannot miss it. I cannot miss it. And then there's a huge boxing event. So, yeah, I'm going to have my phone while I'm dancing and all that stuff too, bro. 100%. I already told my lady, bro.
Yeah. Trying to hear with all the abuelitas and tias screaming when Selena comes on. I get you, man. So that's everything I have for this week, guys. Thank you again, Cruz, for joining me. This is a great episode.
No, thank you, bro. It was a good time.
Yeah, it was. It was great. We had a great time. We got some content recorded today.
Yeah.
We got to smoke some cannabis. So thank you all again for watching. Make sure you give a
guys.
follow to both of us. Like this, subscribe, whatever the hell it is. So that way when the #Grassy Logic podcast comes on again. And also give Cruz a follow so you can check out his cool reviews, because I know I'll keep checking them out. So anyway, guys, I'll be back here again. You want to get us out of here?
So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Make sure you tune in. Do not miss any of his episodes. We appreciate you guys. Have a good night.
All right.